are these people?
Let's go to People's Dispatch and let's hide Reef from here. Hey, make that disappear. Reef's name badge. Turn that off. There we go. All right. Million-strong general strike. Okay, we got a little bit of good news here. And again, Kit Knightley was calling it allegedly. It wasn't allegedly, it happened. Million-strong general strike blocks Italy for Palestine. 1 million people across Italy, led by grassroots unions, took part in a general strike supporting Palestine and the global Sumud flotilla, which we're going to talk about in a minute because I figured it's a nice segue into the flotilla. Okay, so this is an article again from People's Dispatch. I think I found it in Popular Resistance or Sheer Post. But on September 22nd, approximately 1 million people across Italy, crazy, staged a general strike in support of Palestine and the global Sumud flotilla, offering a vision of solidarity sharply at odds with the one displayed by European leaders at the UN these days. Ports, train stations, and major junctions were shut down as workers, many of whom were members of the grassroots union, Union Sindacale de Base, okay, the USB, brought the country to a halt. In Rome alone, 300,000, I don't know how they count these numbers, but 300,000 demonstrators occupied the city's main railway hub before marching through the streets. The call came from Genoa's dock workers, and here we are. We've blocked everything. That's great. Okay? First responders will never be complicit in genocide, and we're protesting a government that's entrapping us in rearmament. So it's not just about Palestine either. Earlier this month, as the global Sumud flotilla prepared to launch, members of the Dock Workers Collective in Genoa vowed to halt port operations if Israel attacked or blocked the fleet. Weeks later, following continuous local mobilizations and public assemblies, they made good on their promise. Thousands shut down Genoa's port from the early morning hours, joined by workers in the strategic harbors of Trieste, Venice, and Livorno. Rallies erupted in Bologna, Milan, Turin, Naples, across Sicily and Sardinia, and in dozens of other localities where teachers and parents and students walked out of schools together, chanting for a free Palestine. That's incredible. Man, I wish that would happen here. Speaking from the Genoa blockade, Marta Cala of the left party Potere al Popolo stressed that while the strike demonstrated concrete solidarity with Palestinians, affirmed support for their legislative resistance, and denounced European complicity in genocide. Embargo and sanctions, these must be our priorities, meaning that we can't stop here. Authorities responded to the massive mobilization with violence. What a surprise. When you withhold your labor, the state comes after you with violence. Police forces used water cannons against protesters, demanding an end to Italy's arms trade with Israel, agreed, and calling for severing all political and economic ties. Love to see that happen. Despite growing public pressure, the fascist Giorgia Meloni's government has refused to act against Israel, instead continuing communications with Israeli officials and arms deliveries throughout the state-linked company Leonardo. All right, look at, the videos and the images are stunning. The fact that they're actually written in Italian leads me to believe that they're genuine and not, like a color revolution led by CIA, etc., to try to destabilize the country. Only days before the strike, Infrastructure and Transport Minister Matteo Salvini, leader of the far-right Lega, appeared in an interview with Israeli media in which he supported Israel's right to build itself a serene future, as occupation forces inflicted even more destruction upon Gaza City. In its campaign to build a serene future, Israel has killed at least 65,000 Palestinians in Gaza, including over 1,000 health workers and hundreds of journalists. While some government figures signaled mild unease about recent attacks, Salvini set out his allegiance in very clear terms, quote, defending Israel's right to exist is complicated right now, but friends are revealed in the most difficult moments. Yeah, and you're not one of them. In some strike locations, protesters signaled out Salvini's statements in their speeches. In Venice, they sent what they termed a special message to a special enemy, insisting that their loyalty was with Palestinians under attack and that their energy committed to building international solidarity. Okay. The mass character of Monday's strike likely shook much of Italy's political class. In recent years, the government had passed measures to restrict demonstrations and downplay the organizing capacity of trade unions and the left. Yet, weeks of continuous protests, culminating in the general strike, undermined these efforts. So, even though it's illegal, and even though they're trying to do everything to stop them, somehow these people in Italy pulled it off. Workers have returned to center stage and are calling on citizens, all citizens, to stand up. They're not doing so for a contract renewal, but to demand justice for a distant and tormented people. In this age of selfishness and individualism, this seems unthinkable, but no, solidarity between peoples and brotherhood beyond borders are not dead and buried values. On the contrary, they are alive and kicking. Inject this into my fucking veins. All right? For Potere Popolo's Giuliano Granato, the strike also captured broader anger. Quote, Palestine has given a name to our discontent. I don't like kind of doing that, actually, but okay. All right. The outrage, protests, and anger over the massacre of the Palestinian people has intersected with years of oppression, repression, and deteriorating material conditions here. For young people in particular, there is the absence of a future, fear, and the awareness of living in societies where only the horrendously rich and powerful have a say. Yeah. The momentum built by the strike is set to continue. Italian dock workers will host an international sectoral meeting on September 26th and 27th, bringing together trade unions capable of disrupting Europe's arms flows to Israel, which they've said they would block. National demonstrations in solidarity with Palestine are also planned for October 4th, as eyes remain fixed on the global Samud flotilla. If Israel attempts to stop it, Italian workers have already shown that they are ready to block the country, sending a signal that could inspire others to organize along the same lines. I sure hope so, man. I'll tell you, I'll say it. I've been calling for a general strike for years, and I would still love to see it. So please support INN with a $5, $10, or however many dollar contribution, a tip over at ko-fi.com/Indie News Network. You got Cash App, $, Indie News Network. You got paypal.me/Indie News Network. We're live over at IndieNewsNow.com, and you can actually get to the merch store over there too. There's a link at the top of navigation for merch. You can buy a shirt or a sticker or a beanie. Winter's coming up. Or over at Substack at IndieMediaToday.com, where we're live right now, or at INNNewsletter.com. The best people are hanging out here. So if you're able to, before we head out, support independent media, support these people. These people already did. I enjoy doing the show every Sunday night. I love you. I love you all, and I appreciate you all for putting up with me. And this is what's happening in the world, and we can't ignore it. There are too many outlets that just want to bury their head in the sand or only tell one part of the story, and we're not going to do that. I'm going to try to go to as many places as I can, bring as many trusted independent journalists, outlets, and opinions and perspective as we can, and we're going to keep doing this. So, all right, I don't have any of his goodbye, although I do have this. No! We just fucking lost the stream! Night, everyone. Love you.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days, and I still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told you everything was safe, were you